Okay. Good morning, everyone. In today's class, we will be discussing about this consumer rights. So the reason why I have taken up this particular topic is that recently, central government amended the Consumer Rights Act of 1986. Okay. So with that amendment, it made some changes to the Consumer Rights Act. Okay. So what kind of changes that were made? Why the government has to make these changes? Before going into that particular discussion, so I felt like it's appropriate first to understand this consumer rights, the concept of consumerism. So the quotation that you are able to see on the screen right now. Okay. So this was given by Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. So this quotation you can use at the end of your answers whenever you're writing any answer with respect to consumer rights. Okay. So for that purpose, I just gave this quotation. So here he just uh, spoke about the importance of the consumer. Okay. So now I will be going to the next one, first the background. What exactly this consumer rights, how they actually started. So if you see, like in the if you take some few decades back, till few decades back, until we have this internationalization of trade and all, we haven't that much of consumer rights as a concept. So there used to be consumer rights. There used to be consumers because when there's a seller, when there's a buyer, then comes the consumer. So buyers are the consumers. Okay. So we have this consumerism concept, but it didn't get much of relevance. Okay, in early years. The reason, here I just mentioned one ancient uh, a word. It's a kind of word that uses in ancient days they use this caveat emptor. Caveat emptor means here it's a rational way of thinking. Like the buyer knows the relationship between the seller, because before purchasing the good or service, the buyer knows everything. Buyer knows the best. Accordingly, he or she purchased. Okay, so it's up to the buyer. By seller, no need to disclose all the details. It's up to the buyer whether to purchase or not to purchase. If you're clever enough, you purchase. If not, then don't purchase. So this used to be the argument. But after, especially with this globalization, with this increasing interconnected world, with this global trade, so with now the products are coming from different places. Okay. At the same time, everybody wants to maximize the profit. Sometimes to maximize the profit, they may even go for substandard products. If you go with the substandard product, that ultimately affects the buyers, the consumers, the one who finally consumes it. So in that context, so we thought like, because with increasing trade, with increasing options, okay, so more number of players started coming into the market. If so, the number of players in the market to sell, and equally the demand also got increased. More number of people also started purchasing the things. So here we thought like now there should be some kind of a common platform, okay, that can take care of the rights of the consumer. Okay, so there the state also will provide protection to the consumer. Okay, so there will be awareness generation to the consumer regarding the product. At the same time, the companies also will be careful in terms of disclosing the what kind of services they are providing, or to what extent that particular good is standard itself. Okay, so whether they are maintaining proper standards while making the goods or not. So the companies also are compelled to disclose. Okay. So in this way, this consumerism as a discipline, consumerism as a topic, in academics also. It started getting incorporated. Okay. So now here, let us try to understand the word consumerism. So what is consumerism means? So consumerism is a discipline. So under which ultimately it wants protection for the consumers. It deals with the interests of the consumers under consumerism. Okay. See, through consumerism, it's a process through which the consumers wants to redress. That means they want to get solutions to their problems. Okay. And they want some kind of final solution. So because they got some issue with the product that they purchased. Okay. So that's why now if you say for everything, now we have this customer care concept. Okay. So to get the complaints. So in this way, consumerism as a discipline started emerging. Then we also started having this, what you call, when this consumerism comes, the rights of the consumer also comes. So under consumerism, what it is all about? Consumerism means, in one word, what you have to remember, it is here to protect the consumers. How? So now it is a discipline, consumerism. It means it is a separate branch right now. It's a separate branch of knowledge. So it also deals with something. What it says, if the interest of the consumer is protected, how it can be protected? Then the role of the government, the role of the business organization, the role of independent organizations like non-governmental organizations, voluntary organizations. Okay. And consumers. They all should come together to protect the interest of the consumer. So by this, I think you might got to know that consumerism means what? It's a concept under which the rights of the consumer will be protected. Who will be protecting? Okay, not only the consumer will be aware of it, along with that, governments, business organizations, voluntary organizations. Okay, so they also will be helping. Business organizations from their side, they will disclose how they are making the product, whether they are following the standards or not. Okay. Government will come with the regulations. Voluntary organizations will generate the awareness. Okay. We have the judicial setup. Okay. To redress the complaints. We have these consumer forums, right? Consumer courts. Okay. So in that way, consumerism as a concept got emerged. Okay. Now come to the consumer protection. So eventually, if you see, when this consumerism as a topic, when it started emerged, when people started discussing about it at the international level, especially at the United Nations level, they discussed about this consumer rights. So they felt like across the world, we need to give importance to the consumers, like the rights to the consumers. Okay, so first action started in USA, later United Nations in the year 1985. It came up with this guidelines for consumer protection, United Nations guidelines for consumer protection. Okay, so in that, almost what are the rights that got incorporated in the American Bill of Consumer Rights? Same in United Nations also we will be incorporating. If you see here, like the consumers have the right to choice. That means you should provide multiple options to the consumer. You cannot say that only you purchase only this product. So for that, you have to encourage competition. More number of players should be there in the market. At the same time, you should provide information to the consumer. If the consumer comes and asks you how this toothpaste got made, you should mention how much fluoride content is there in the toothpaste. Okay, so what kind of herbs we used? Have we used any synthetic materials or not? You have to mention that. That's why if you see the backside of the toothpaste box, you will see the ingredients. What kind of ingredients are there? Okay. If at all they have any complaints, to whom they have to report. So all the details they will mention. Even if you take the 1 rupee, 2 rupee candies, sugar candies, even behind that also, you will be seeing the like complaints, regarding complaints, contact this. Because the consumer should know the right to, because the consumer should have this right to know, this right to information. At the same time, right to safety. Okay. Suppose we eat lover. Suppose a certain individuals, you have to mention while selling the product, you have to mention certain individuals are allergic to certain products. So you should mention in detail regarding the ingredients. At the same time, what is the safety for the consumer? How the consumer has to use the product. Shall they keep it in the cold store, like cool place, or where they have to keep? And how they have to use that? To what is the safety of the product? So you have to mention to them. If you do not, then you are violating the rights of the consumer. Then right to be heard. Right to be heard means you should take their complaints. When they have an issue, you should take their complaints. Grievance redressal, addressing their complaints. So finally, right to consumer education. This got added. That means consumer education also is one of the rights. You have to educate the consumer because that is the right of the consumer. If they are using your product, if they are using your product, you have to educate the consumer in such a way that what are all the, like each and every aspects of the product, how it's made, right? What are the components that got used, whether it followed proper standards or not, are they following the fair practices or not? Okay, so this is what first they incorporated in the consumer right bill of consumer rights in America. Later, United Nations also like started using the same. Like if you see here, I think I did not mention the United Nations guidelines here. No, I did not mention, but almost only those points. Here I did not mention the guidelines, but most of the guidelines, like as I mentioned right now, what are there in the Bill of Rights? Almost same. So that's why I did not mention. Next, come to the factors responsible for legislations. Why these days we want legislation to protect the rights of the consumer? First of all, why do we need legislation? As I told you, now things became very complex. The trade, you just sit in your room, you can order the book, you can order anything, you will get it. Who is the person supplying that? Okay, so how they are supplying? So the modes of trade, it got completely changed. The way the goods and services they are getting exchanged. Okay, new technologies are coming up. Now we are into the e-services, e-platforms, electronic platforms. What we call these websites as e-commerce websites, Flipkart, Amazon, blah blah blah. Okay, so when these new e-commerce website comes, so via billions of trade is happening right now. There need to be some regulation. You are purchasing a lot many products via the e-commerce websites. So who is accountable here? If there is a brick and mortar store means our regular shopping malls. So there, if you purchase something, if there is a defect, you can go and complain. But there, why in this e-commerce, we do not have any such facility. So that's why here the consumer rights should be further stronger. There need to be some kind of regulation for this. Okay. At the same time, I told this growing complexity, growing size and complexity of production and distribution system. We have right now different ways of getting the goods. Okay, we have e-commerce platforms, we have normal brick and mortar stores, shopping malls, we have push carts. So when the things are becoming more and more complex, so it is difficult for the consumer also to aware each and every aspect. So the state should be responsible here. The state should take the responsibility, okay, to come up with an institutional setup. Remember this. The state should come up with an institutional setup to deal with consumer rights, to protect the consumer rights. Okay. So at the same time, consumers also, they are moving from one, if they move from one place to another place. Okay. So I will purchase one watch in Delhi, but now I shifted to Hyderabad. So I got a complaint with respect to this watch. So to whom I have to complain? This watch got purchased in Delhi. Okay. So that's why you need to have a national level platforms for this. Across the country, anywhere you can complain. Because now within a day or within, so if people are moving from one place to another place. Understood that. So that's why consumer rights are very much essential right now. Why do we need a national level framework? This is the reason. Because the mobility of the people is getting increased. At the same time, new modes of distribution of services, this e-commerce. And in the future, we are even planning for the drones. In different ways, we are providing the services. So if anything happens, who is accountable? If the drone carries the what you call your package, suddenly it will fall down. So who is responsible for that? Will the company be responsible, or the cost also will be shared with the consumer? Okay. What if there is a wrong delivery happens? Who will be responsible for that? So these all are the new kind of relationships we are establishing while purchasing the goods. New modes of purchasing the goods and new modes of getting the services. Okay. So while getting the food from the restaurant, okay, if the Swiggy delivery boy, if they misses it or if they eats it, okay, to whom I should blame here? Okay. Swiggy says we delivered. Restaurant says from our side there is no mistake. So who will take care of the rights of the consumer here? Okay, so that's why these new modes of serving the people is actually coming up. So these all need to be incorporated. So that's why we need to reform. We need to amend. So why do we need legislation? These are the reasons. Okay. Next, eventually, 1986, we came up with the Consumer Protection Act. See, it does not mean, as I told you, we used to have the previous acts. Suppose, for example, we have Indian Penal Code. So there also we have a lot many punishments. Indian Contracts Act. If you sign a contract with somebody, if they fail to fulfill the contract, okay, so you can penalize you. They will be penalized. But okay, but see, comparing with all these acts, what is the difference between these acts and the Consumer Rights Act? This is the most important difference. This you should understand. The fundamental difference between all these acts and the Consumer Protection Act. What is the difference? If all these acts are there, why do we need to have Consumer Protection Act again? See, in all these acts, if they violate, they will be punished. But you will not be compensated. Understood that? If they violate, they will be punished, but you will not be compensated. But under the Consumer Protection Act, if they violate, you will be compensated because your right got violated. This is what important. Suppose, for example, under Drugs and Drug Controls Act, if a pharmaceutical company, if it's if it suppose, for example, it made a wrong formula. Okay, so due to which some health issues took place before Consumer Protection Act. Okay, so for consumers there is no there is no right. The state will penalize the company because they made the wrong drug. But now we are in this Consumer Protection Act because we consumed the drug that was made by that particular pharmaceutical company, because that was made with wrong chemical formations. I got affected, so I will be getting the compensation. I will sue the that particular company in the consumer forum. So I will file a case against them. I will tell them like, say, this much damage took place for me. Please compensate me. So now you have this right to get compensation. under the Consumer Protection Act. So this is the fundamental difference between Consumer Protection Act and the previous acts and the acts that are there to deal with the specific issue. Suppose Contracts Act for dealing with contracts, this narcotic drugs and substances, psychotropic substances to deal with all these narcotic substances. So we have a specific acts, but for all these things we have a act to protect the rights of the consumer, that is Consumer Protection Act. Now see here, what is this Consumer Protection Act? To provide better protection to the interest of the consumer. So it's a progressive legislation. It is for the betterment of the consumer. So to safeguard the consumers from exploitation. I told you the last point, see here. Other laws are punitive, but Consumer Protection Act is compensatory. So it provides relief to the consumer, not just penalizing the company. Okay, so what are the features? So these all are the features. You can just see them. Applies to all goods and services, compensatory in nature. This is very important. It covers public, private, cooperative. Okay, so we have this district consumer forums, state consumer forums, national consumer forums. Okay, so these are the features, some of the features of the act. Okay, this is important. So what are the rights that are being protected under the Consumer Protection Act 1986? These are the rights. Right to safety, right to be informed, okay, right to choose, right to be heard, right to seek redressal. Next, right to consumer education. Okay. So these are the rights that are available for the consumers under the Consumer Protection Act. Okay. So these are 6 rights. Like if you clearly observe, these are almost similar to what are the rights that are mentioned in the American Consumer Bill of Rights. Okay. So all these 6 that we already discussed, the rights. Okay, if you mention these points, that means if you understand these, in these dimensions, you can discuss. Suppose, for example, if you are right now, if you want to write challenges on each dimension, you can write. Are we really providing all the safety options to the consumers? Are we really informing? Suppose, for example, let me tell you one small thing. We sometimes in the news, we will get about there used to be an ad called as Pan Bahar. So I think some actor also will endorse that. Okay. So after giving out the whole advertisement, in the last, before closing the ad, in few seconds, they will say like this pan masala kana swasth ke liye hanikarak hai. But the way they speak out that, you won't even understand that. Okay. So there on one side, on paper, they will show that, see, we are here. On one side, it's like we will be selling the cigarettes on the one side. On the other side, we will be coming up with a precaution. Smoking is injurious to health. Smoking causes cancer. Okay. So in the similar way, these people also, what they say, they will say like, see, we are following the regulation. But while following, how they're misusing that? So these are some of the loopholes. They will be misusing that. So these are some of the safety issues. So these issues, if you have any like anything with respect to that, you can go and file a complaint. At the same time, you should be informed. If you are complaining about that, they should inform you regarding the product. Again, you should be given options to choose. Again, your complaint should be heard, and they have to solve your complaints. Okay. Finally, they have to educate you. They have to create awareness. So these are the Next, what I did actually here is like I took out these two acts. The previous one, the 1986 one. 1986 one is the original one, and to that the amended version is the 2019 one. Okay. So why I have taken all these major points here. So I want you to see where the kind of change took place. So ambit of law means here it is actually called as a scope. So the scope of 1986 Act and the scope of 2019 Act. If you see both here, then the scope of 2019 is broader comparing with to the 1986. Clearly observe. Previously, telecom services were not part of consumer rights. If you have anything issues with telecom, you cannot approach consumer forum. But now we can approach. Even same is the case with housing and construction, because housing and construction also slowly there also like we are having these consumer rights violations. Okay, when you're purchasing the flat, you should be informed first. Okay, so at the same time, you should be given all the original document. You should be shown them first. So you will be having all these rights. So if they violate that, you can file a complaint. So again, this is online transactions. So this tele-shopping. So these aspects also included. So it means e-services and new other services got included in the 2019 Act. So that's why the scope of 2019 Act is broader comparing with 1986 Act. So with this, we proved the first point. See the second point. Unfair trade practices means, suppose for example, what they call is like misleading advertisements. Misleading advertisements means here they will show one thing, but in reality the thing will be different. Okay, so suppose using some, suppose what happened here, like this with respect to this MS Dhoni, when he was shown in this Vishnu avatar. Okay, so that was when he was endorsing one particular product. I forgot the name of the product, but what I'm trying to say here is that you should not mislead the people with false information. Suppose, for example, let me give a very simple example. Previously, if you see these water bottles, we will be getting this PET bottles, right? Water bottles. Previously, they used to call them as mineral waters. This Coca-Cola and all these companies, when they started, they called them as mineral water. Okay, but in reality, that water doesn't actually contain any mineral. They will take out all the minerals. While filtering the water, they will take out the good ones and the bad ones. Okay, so but after that, what happened? Complaint was filed. If there are no minerals in this, how can you sell this product as mineral water? That's why now you can see, as if you see this product, they will call that as packaged water. They will not use the word mineral water. Those who adds mineral, then they will say, suppose for example, Bisleri, because they say that with added minerals. So if you add minerals to the water, you have to mention to the consumer. Or else, without that, how can you sell the product like that? Okay. So this is about malpractices. So these malpractices, we further strengthen the provisions here. So within 30 days, if you fail to accept, so complaint can be taken. So the consumer will return the good, but you did not accept the good. Then the consumer can file a complaint if they have a proper evidence. Next is, this is the most important aspect. This we added in the 2019, but not there in the 1986. Product liability. Product liability means here, suppose for example, let us take this Maggie issue. When the 2 minutes Maggie issue came up, that means the Maggie contained this monosodium glutamate, MSG. So there was a ban on Maggie for few weeks. That time, the brand ambassadors of Maggie, this Amitabh Bachchan, all these people were criticized. See, they were just criticized, but there is no punishment for them. because they are the ones who are coming, who are endorsing them, who are asking all the people just purchase, purchase, purchase. Oh, that is very much impacting the brand. So right now, if I go to any shop, noodles means immediately what comes to my mind, Maggie. So suppose, for example, take the case of Boost. So these cricketers, at one time Sachin Tendulkar, after that Dhoni, now Virat Kohli, they extensively promoting the energy drink, the energy powder, the what they call that, the barley powder, just the Boost. But what if some issue happens with that? So these people are promoting that, so they also should be responsible for that, liable. So that's why now in the 2019 Act, the present one, it got incorporated. What is that? See, not only the manufacturer of the product, along with manufacturer, seller, and endorser. Endorsers also will be responsible. Okay. So endorsers also, they also can be punished. So this is what product liability means. Product liability means if you like if there is an issue with the product, then the manufacturer, the service provider, and the seller, all three will be responsible for that. Next, another point they added here is unfair contracts. So this is also new edition, not of previous act. So suppose, for example, while purchasing, you made a deal, but they broke the contract. So in that case, now you can go and file a complaint. If you have a fair, if you have a fair deal, so they made an agreement with you, but after that, they told you that they will be providing you in time, but they did not provide. Because of that, you got huge loss. So if for this loss, you can go and file a complaint. See, I need to be compensated. See, you told me that you will send the goods by this day, but you did not send. So due to which I got this much of loss. So because you violated the contract. So contract violations, now we can file a complaint against it. So along with that, this is the old one. This what we call central protection councils. What we call these councils as advisory bodies. Okay. So these advisory bodies, what they actually do, that we have the central, we have state level, and we have at the district level. So these protection councils, so what they do is like they're actually for the generation, this awareness generation. We have this Jago Grahak Jago campaign. So awareness generation is the awareness generation in what way the consumer rights has to be protected is the main responsibility of this protection councils, central protection council, state protection council, and district protection council. Okay, so they are the advisory bodies. They are for the protection of the consumer rights by way of generating awareness. Okay, so this is about CPC. Next is we have this. This is the recent edition, Central Consumer Protection Authority. For so long it is it's a recommendation. Now at least it got fulfilled. Now we have a Central Consumer Protection Authority. Till date we haven't have that. We just used to have only consumer forums, district consumer forum, state consumer forum, central consumer forum. If they also didn't solve, go to Supreme Court. Till date this is the procedure. Okay, so now also we have the same procedure, but along with that, we also have the Central Consumer Protection Authority. It acts like a nodal agency. It is a nodal agency. What it will do? It will come up with all guidelines. Suppose, for example, it can take actions. If you file a complaint, it can take actions. Okay, so it is like to impose how much penalty should be imposed. Okay, so for all those things, we have this Central Consumer Protection Authority. So after that, if there is a violation, we have this consumer protection forums. You can go there. We have this central government will appoint. Previously, there used to be a committee that used to appoint, but right now central government will directly appoint these members. It's a quasi-judicial body. Okay, so at the same time, they also increased the value of the jurisdiction. At the district level, now you can deal up to 1 crore. So because the value of money also got the per capita income also got increased, right? So that's why. So we increased the value also to 1 crore at the district level and up to 10 at the national level and state level, above 10 crore at the national level. So this is also we mentioned. This is next. Okay. So composition of these commissions. In general, these commissions, these forums, district forums, state forum and national forum. District forum, district judge. Okay. Next, state forum, high court judge. And national forum, Supreme Court judge. Current or retired. Okay. But now we change the term to this president. Okay. President and 2 members. So now for this central government will appoint. Okay. So to whom the central government will appoint, we have to say whether it will appoint only the judicial person or the non-judicial person. Okay. Next is, this is the challenging point here, appointment. There used to be a committee to select the members of these commissions. But now central government will directly appoint. So here, most of the people are criticizing that it may be misused by the center. Because if there is a committee will give the recommendations. But if there is no committee, central government, according to its interest, it may appoint. Chances of misuse. So this is what is the criticism of the 2019 amendment. This point you should note. Okay. Next is, this is important point. What we call this as alternate dispute resolution, ADR. What is this alternate dispute resolution? If 2 parties, party A and party B, if they got an issue, they will be going to the court. But you know, in the traditional court system, we have a lot many pendency of cases. So to solve that, why can't we have a off the court settlement rather than going to the court? So alternate dispute resolution is a off the court settlement. We have a famous example for this, that is Lok Adalat. So government itself conducts a huge Lok Adalat with the judicial officials at the mass level per day. Sometimes they used to solve lakhs of cases. Okay. So alternate dispute resolution means off the court settlement. So under the present 2019 Act, we added this ADR mechanisms of the court settlement. If both the parties agreed, after filing a complaint also, if they both agreed, then they can go and just mention to the forum that if we both agreed to this thing, so we finally closing the deal. So like that we can encourage. So this is what the new thing added in the 2019. It's a very progressive provision. This is a very important one. At the same time, penalties. So penalties, it also got increased. Okay, so that is simple thing. Next is, this is the most important provision, e-commerce. Now e-commerce got incorporated. Till date, e-commerce is not part of the consumer rights. Now e-commerce also there because trade via the e-commerce is actually getting increased. So that's why this coming up of this Consumer Protection Authority and this alternate dispute resolution, e-commerce, these are the highlights of the 2019 amendment. Previously, these were not there. Okay. So the appointment process and all these some modifications they made, but completely new points. These are the new points: e-commerce, this alternate dispute resolution, and this central this what you call Consumer Protection Authority. Okay. So these are completely new. So these are the common comparison differences. Finally, what are the issues right now with respect to consumer rights in India? As you all know, exploitation is the major issue here. Consumer awareness is not there. That's why mostly in newspaper and sometimes in TV channels we see the ads. Somebody will come and they will purchase and they will not see the expiry date, but still the shop owner will sell it. Another lady will come and tell you that please just check the product, but before purchasing, check the expiry date of the product. Okay, and after they will come and say Jago Grahak Jago. It's a campaign. Okay, So because the challenge right now is low consumer education. Next is we have this the consumer rights, the consumer forums also. They cannot take any suo motu actions. On their own, they cannot come and take any action. If you file a complaint, then only they can come and take action. Okay. So now at least we have this National Consumer Protection Authority. It will come and take action. So it's a regulating body. So at least this problem we to some extent we solve. At the same time, judgments, very delayed judgments. If sometimes the average time it is taking up to 5 years to solve the case. So the reasons for this is we don't have sufficient this testing facilities, because if you file a complaint first that should be verified. So we don't have much of testing facilities. That is also one of the reasons why there is a delays in the court judgments. At the same time, we have issues with the recent amendment I mentioned. So the recent amendment to some extent centralized the appointment process. So that may be misused in the future. So these are the issues. So finally, how to tackle them? The only way, public awareness campaign. There is a concept called citizen charter. Citizen charter means if you reach to any of the governmental institution, they need to display their services. What services they are providing. At the same time, they should also display the time with how much time they can do the service. Opening a bank account, how much time? To get a check, how much time? To get ATM card, how much time? They should give the list. Accordingly, the consumers also, when they are reaching to the institution, they will get a clarity. So this is where comes the concept of right to know. So this is what is called a citizen charter. Next is we have this testing facility should be increased. Vacant position should be increased. Alternate dispute resolution should be increased, as I mentioned right now. Inspections, role of voluntary organizations, the media for awareness generation. So this is finally the way forward with respect to consumer rights. So now if you read the quote of Mahatma Gandhi, then you will understand the importance of consumer. Understood? So with that note, I'm ending. Thank you.